Welcome back, everybody. We're diving deep today into the world of Forex, but with a bit of a twist.
Ooh, a twist.
Not the typical charts and trends and, all that stuff.
Right.
We're going to tackle the psychology of trading.
The mental game.
Yeah, the mental game,
Oh,
exactly.
by the way.
Specifically, we're going to wrestle with the greed monster.
Ooh.
Because greed can turn even the most, you know, level-headed trader
Yeah.
into their worst enemy, right?
Absolutely.
We've all been there, I think.
For sure.
So, to guide us through this, we're going to be looking at a fascinating article titled Greed in Forex Transactions, a Silent Killer That Must Be Controlled.
Okay, then.
And I have an expert here who's going to help us unpack it all.
Happy to be here.
So, are you ready to get started?
Let's do it.
All right, so this article, it dives right in and starts by defining greed.
Yes.
Straight from the Merriam-Webster dictionary.
Classic.
It says, a selfish and excessive desire for more of something, such as money, than is needed.
Okay, makes sense.
So my first question to you. Yeah.
Why is greed, in your opinion, more dangerous than even fear in Forex?
That's a good question.
Like, most people, fear seems to be the big bad wolf, right?
Right.
The fear of losing everything.
Yeah, fear of making the wrong move.
Exactly.
Fear can really kind of freeze you, right?
Yeah.
It makes you hesitate.
Yeah.
Maybe miss out on some, opportunities.
Right. Play it too safe.
But it doesn't often drive you to take those massive risks that can really wipe you out.
Okay.
Greed, on the other hand,
Yeah.
greed pushes you to action. Sometimes reckless action.
Okay, I'm starting to see the picture here.
Yeah.
Fear is more like, okay, I'm just gonna, play it super safe, not do anything too crazy.
Stay small.
But greed is like, I'm going all in. This is it. I'm gonna,
Yeah, this is my chance. Got to go big or go home.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So how does this greed monster, as we're calling it?
How does it actually manifest in Forex trading? Like, what are some red flags, some warning signs that we might be,
Oh, for sure.
falling prey to it?
There are some key signs the article outlines.
Okay.
Let's break them down.
I'm ready. Hit me.
First one is overuse of leverage.
Ah!
That double-edged sword.
Yeah,
right?
that kick.
We all know that, it can boost your winnings.
Yeah.
But, man, it can magnify those losses, too, sometimes. Well,
Yeah.
to a devastating degree, really.
Like life savings gone.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
That's the thing about greed. It makes us laser-focused on that potential upside.
right.
And we
Well,
totally forget about the downside.
It blinds us.
Yeah.
Okay, what about the next red flag?
Okay, next one is overtrading.
Overtrading, yeah.
This is where that mental fatigue the article talks about comes into play.
Okay.
Instead of trading with a clear head, having a strategy,
Yeah.
you're just glued to the screen.
Yeah, yeah.
You're chasing every little movement.
Gotta be in on everything.
You feel like you have to be in on every single move.
Yeah.
It's exhausting.
Yeah.
And it almost always leads to bad decisions.
It reminds me of, those gamblers who just can't walk away from the table?
Oh, yeah.
Just one more hand, just one
I'm
more.
going to win it back.
This is it. This is the one.
Yeah, but it never really works out that way, does it?
Rarely, right.
Yeah.
So what's the next behavior we should watch out for?
All right, number 3 is blindly chasing the market.
Okay.
This is the classic FOMO.
Fear of missing out.
Fear of missing out, yep.
You see the price jumping up and you're like,
You got to get in on that.
yeah, I got to get in on this.
Yeah, all logic goes out the window.
Right, your plan goes.
Forget the play.
Forget the plan.
Yeah, I'm jumping in. At first, got to catch that wave.
But then you end up buying at the top,
Oh, yeah, so often.
and then it just, down it goes.
Yeah.
So what about that final warning sign?
Oh, this is the one that stings a little bit.
The one that hurts.
This is clinging to losing trades.
Ooh.
Yeah, that stubborn refusal to just accept the loss.
Right, right.
Even when everything's telling you, get out now.
Not your losses.
You just, you can't let go.
It's that hope, right, that it'll turn around.
You hope, you pray.
Just a little bit longer.
Yeah, loss aversion, they call it.
It's got to come back up.
The pain of defeat, it's so
Yeah.
strong.
Yeah.
We convince ourselves just a little bit longer, it'll come back.
Yeah.
But
We've all been there.
we've all been there, yeah,
So we've laid out the problem,
pretty clearly, yeah.
but the article doesn't just, leave us hanging with this, this doom and gloom scenario, right?
Right, we got to find some solutions.
There's got to be something we can do about this.
Absolutely.
So what does the article suggest for taming this greed monster?
Well, it offers some really Surprisingly practical advice, actually,
Okay.
even for traders who, struggle with emotional control.
All right, I'm ready. Let's hear it.
Let's dive in.
What's step one?
Accepting imperfection.
Accepting imperfection.
Yeah.
Okay, that sounds, a little bit philosophical, right?
It's a bit deep.
How does that actually apply to,
Yeah.
Forex trading, day-to-day trading?
Good point. We're not all philosophers here.
Yeah, exactly.
So, of course we want to be successful.
Right, that's the goal.
That's the whole point.
Make money.
But the problem is when we strive for perfection,
Yeah.
that flawless track record,
Yeah.
no losses,
Never lose a trade.
it's just not realistic.
Nobody's perfect.
Right? No one, no matter how skilled or experienced, wins every trade.
Yeah.
And that constant chase for that unattainable ideal,
Hmm.
it can actually fuel the greed even more.
I see. So it's like setting ourselves up for
For disappointment.
disappointment. Yeah.
Yeah, and frustration.
And then when we do lose, it's like, oh, man.
Yeah, the world's ending.
So we need to accept that losses are part of the game.
Part of the process.
Yeah.
It takes the pressure off,
Yeah.
and it lets you focus on what you can control.
Okay.
Your process, your risk management,
Yeah.
how you respond to the ups and downs of the market.
This makes me think about the next strategy the article mentions, sticking to the plan.
Absolutely.
Why is that so important?
Well, when you accept that you're not going to be perfect,
Right.
you realize you need a plan,
Yeah, a solid
a solid plan.
Okay.
And just as important as having the plan is sticking to it.
Yeah, the discipline.
The discipline, even when your emotions are going haywire.
So, why is discipline so crucial, especially in the context of greed?
Okay, so think of your trading plan as your defense against those whispers of greed.
Okay.
It tells you when to enter a trade,
Yeah.
when to exit, how to manage your risk, what are your overall goals.
Right.
It's your roadmap through the craziness of the market. So when greed whispers, double down, this is going to the moon.
Yeah, this is it.
Your plan says, hold on a second, remember the strategy we talked about.
Right, right.
It helps you resist those knee-jerk reactions that usually lead to bad decisions.
Okay, makes sense. So sticking to the plan helps us stay,
Grounded.
yeah, grounded, exactly.
Rational.
What's the next strategy?
Acknowledging the role of luck in trading.
Humility.
Humility, yeah.
Not a word you hear very often, when it comes to finance.
What in Wall Street?
Everyone's got big egos,
It's easy to get caught up in that illusion of control.
Yeah.
To think our wins are all because of our brilliance.
Right.
And our losses, well, that's just
Yeah.
bad luck.
It's not my fault.
Right.
But chance plays a role.
Oh, a huge role.
Even the best traders.
Even the pros have losing streaks.
Yeah. And beginners get lucky sometimes.
Oh, all the time.
So acknowledging this helps us stay,
humble.
yeah, humble, keeps our egos in check. So instead of, getting too high on the wins or too down on the losses,
It's all part of the game.
we just got to accept it as part of, the process.
The ebb and flow of the market.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we've got accepting imperfections, sticking to the plan, acknowledging the role of luck. What's the fourth?
The fourth is closely related to that last one. It's maintaining humility.
Maintaining humility.
Yeah, as an ongoing practice.
So it's not just a one-time realization.
No, it's got to be constant.
It's something you have to work on.
Every day.
Yeah.
Okay, so how do we do that?
Well, the battle against greed, it never really ends.
It's ongoing.
Yeah, we have to find ways to stay grounded.
Okay.
Remind ourselves we're not invincible.
Right.
The market can always humble us if we get too cocky.
Always.
Always.
All right, I'm all for staying humble, but what does that look like in practice?
Oh, there's some things you can do.
Yeah, give me some specifics.
One thing is to revisit your past trading mistakes.
Not to dwell on them, but to really analyze them
Yeah.
and learn from them.
So remembering those times when greed led us astray.
It's a powerful reminder.
Yeah. Don't do that again.
Right, exactly. Focus on the process, not just the outcome.
Okay.
Celebrate those times when you followed your plan perfectly,
Yeah.
even if the trade itself didn't work out.
Even if you lost money.
Even if you lost money, you stuck to the plan.
It's about the discipline.
The discipline, yeah.
Okay.
And finally, and this might sound a little counterintuitive,
Okay.
don't be afraid to take breaks.
To step away.
Yeah, step away from the chart.
From the market.
From the market.
Hmm.
It can be so intense.
Yeah, it is.
Demanding.
It really is.
It's easy to get sucked in.
To the constant,
The information overload.
Got to be watching, got to be checking.
The pressure.
The pressure.
The emotional roller coaster.
The ups and downs.
Yeah, stepping away, even for a little bit. It gives you a chance to clear your head, regain some perspective,
Reset.
reset, yeah, and come back with a fresh
Fresh perspective.
mindset.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground in this first part of our deep dive.
We have.
We've explored the dangers of greed, unpacked 4 key behaviors that signal its influence, and discussed 4 practical strategies for, pushing back against it.
Yeah, how to fight back.
But before we move on to the next part of our discussion,
Okay.
I want to leave our listeners with a question.
Cliffhanger. I love it.
A little cliffhanger.
All right, hit me.
Our conversation so far has focused on the individual trader's psychology.
Right, the internal battle.
But what about the role of the market itself?
Interesting.
Does the structure of the Forex market,
Yeah,
in some ways, encourage or even reward greed?
that's a deep question.
Something to think about
For sure.
as we continue our exploration.
I'm ready for part 2.
Let's do it.
That cliffhanger you left us with, it's got me thinking it's easy to get caught up in, the individual trader's mindset.
Yeah,
But zooming out,
for the bigger picture.
does the Forex market itself play a role in all this greed?
It's a great question.
It is.
We talk about personal responsibility,
Right.
discipline in trading.
Yeah, all of it.
But what about the system itself? Does the very nature of Forex trading
Yeah.
encourage this kind of behavior?
Well, at its core, Forex is a zero-sum game.
Yeah.
For every winner,
Someone loses.
there's a loser. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that competition, it can create an environment where greed thrives.
Everyone's fighting for a piece of the pie.
Exactly.
And the pie is only so big.
That's right.
And then you add in the fact that, Forex trading is often portrayed as this path to quick riches.
Get rich quick.
Easy money.
Yeah, it's no wonder greed becomes a major factor.
It's like that saying money attracts money.
Right.
But in this case, it's more like greed attracts greed.
Ooh, I like that.
One trader's ambition fuels another's.
Yeah.
It creates a vicious cycle.
It really does.
So if the structure of the market itself contributes to this problem,
Right.
what can individual traders do to protect themselves?
That is the question, isn't it?
Is it even possible?
I think it is.
Okay.
And that's where those strategies we talked about earlier become so important, like accepting imperfection,
Sticking to the plan.
acknowledging the role of luck.
Humility.
Humility, yeah, they're not just, self-help tips.
Right.
They're survival tools.
In this market,
Yeah, in this market that's almost designed to exploit our weaknesses.
you're putting on armor
You got to be prepared.
before you step onto the battlefield.
That's a great analogy.
The market is going to test you.
Oh, it will?
It's going to tempt you
Every step of the way
to abandon your principles,
to chase those shiny objects.
to chase those quick profits.
But if you're ready,
Yeah,
if you have a strong defense,
it's against those impulses.
you're much more likely to come out on top.
Okay, so we've established that the market itself can play a role
Yeah,
in this whole greed thing.
it's part of the equation.
But what about the big institutions?
Ooh, interesting.
The hedge funds, the banks?
The big players?
Do they contribute to the problem?
Well, there's definitely a debate about that.
Okay.
Some argue that these institutions, with all their resources,
Yeah, they're algorithms.
their algorithm,
Their money.
they have an unfair advantage.
They can move markets, right?
Oh, absolutely.
With a single trade.
Yeah, it's like David versus Goliath.
But with billions of dollars at stake
Exactly.
and that imbalance of power,
Yeah.
I can see how that would create
Resentment.
resentment,
It's trust.
distrust among smaller traders.
Yeah. It makes them feel like the game is rigged,
Like they can't win.
and that can push them towards riskier strategies.
I got to take bigger risks to catch up.
Got to swing for the fences.
Yeah, I got to make up for lost ground. And that brings us to the idea of market manipulation.
Ooh, that's a controversial one,
It is.
but it's out there.
It's a real concern.
There's a perception among some traders
Yeah.
that these big institutions,
Yeah.
they intentionally create volatility
Okay.
to exploit the emotional reactions of smaller players.
So they're playing on our fear and greed.
They know how we react,
Yeah.
and they use it to their advantage.
Wow. So it's not just about individual greed. It's
No.
about systemic greed.
It's a system that's designed to
To benefit the few.
benefit those at the top.
That's a heavy thought.
It is.
But instead of getting overwhelmed by all of this,
Right.
let's talk about some practical tools
Okay.
that traders can use to navigate this
This tricky landscape.
this minefield.
This minefield, exactly.
We've talked about mindfulness before on this show.
Yeah, it's a powerful tool.
But how does it apply to managing greed specifically?
Well, mindfulness is all about paying attention to the present moment
Oh, okay.
without judgment.
Yeah.
So in trading, this means becoming aware of your thoughts,
Okay.
your emotions,
Yeah.
your physical sensations as they arise.
As they come up.
Yeah, without getting swept away by them.
So you're creating a little
A
space
little space, yeah.
between your emotions.
And your actions. So you're not just reacting impulsively.
Right, you're not letting your emotions drive the bus.
You're taking a step back.
You're observing.
Observing.
Yeah, okay. I see what's happening here.
I feel that greed coming up.
But I'm not going to let it control me.
We can take a breath.
Exactly.
Okay, so how can traders cultivate mindfulness?
In the middle of a trading day.
Yeah, it's not like we can all go meditate on a mountaintop.
No, we got to be in the trenches.
Yeah, in the heat of the moment.
All right, so here's a simple one. Take mindfulness breaks.
Okay.
Just a few minutes.
Step away from the charts.
Yeah, close your eyes.
Close your eyes. Focus on your breath.
Breathe.
It can do wonders for calming the mind.
Hitting the pause button
Hit the pause button.
on the chaos.
Yeah, the market will still be there when you get back.
Just a little.
What else? Practice mindful breathing throughout the day.
Okay.
You don't have to stop everything.
Right.
Just bring your attention to your breath.
As you're trading.
Yeah, as you're watching the charts,
Yeah.
placing trades,
Yeah.
the more you practice this,
Yeah.
the more natural it becomes.
It becomes a habit.
Yeah, you start to observe your thoughts and emotions with more detachment.
With less intensity.
Less intensity, yeah.
Yeah.
Which is super helpful when those greedy impulses show up.
Yeah, you can see them coming.
You can see them coming.
Oh, here comes the greed monster.
Not today, buddy.
Not today.
Exactly.
We've talked a lot about the dangers of greed,
Yeah, we have.
but let's acknowledge that ambition,
Right.
the desire for success.
Yeah, that drive
It's a powerful motivator.
is,
How do we find that balance?
between healthy ambition and destructive greed.
That's the question.
That's the million-dollar question.
How do we harness that drive without letting it turn into something harmful?
Well, ambition, when it's channeled correctly,
Yeah.
it can be a force for good.
Okay.
It motivates us to learn, to grow.
Push ourselves.
Yeah, to get better.
But when ambition becomes detached from our values,
Hmm.
when it's all about money,
Yeah, just the money,
status,
the status symbols,
that's when it gets dangerous.
that's when it turns toxic.
So we have to check our motivations.
Regularly.
Why am I doing this?
What is my goal?
That's important to me.
If it's all about the money, that's a red flag.
Yeah, that's a warning sign.
Trading should be part of a bigger life plan,
Okay.
one that includes, personal growth,
Yeah.
meaningful relationships.
Contributing to something bigger than yourself.
Yeah, making a difference.
I love that.
It's about aligning your trading goals
Yeah.
with your overall values.
So bringing this back to the article we're discussing,
Yeah. Right.
it focuses primarily on individual psychology.
Yeah, the internal game.
But as we've seen today,
Yeah,
there's a whole other layer to this story.
the bigger picture.
It's not just about taming our own inner greed monster.
Right.
It's about understanding the context.
The environment.
Yeah, the environment in which we're operating.
The market itself, the big players, the information overload,
Just social pressures.
all plays a role.
So even as we work on ourselves,
Yeah,
we have to be mindful of the forces around us.
absolutely.
And that awareness.
That understanding.
It's crucial for becoming a more
Informed
brilliant.
and ultimately successful trader.
Now, before we wrap up this part of our depth dive,
Okay.
I want to touch on one more thing
Right.
that often gets overlooked.
What's that?
The importance of community.
Oh, that's a good one.
It's easy to get caught up in the solitary nature of trading.
Yeah, sitting alone at your computer.
It's just me versus the market.
Right. That kind of mentality.
Yeah, but we're all part of a larger ecosystem.
We are.
We're connected to other traders.
Yeah. Mentors, educators,
Sure.
friends,
Family.
even our families. Yeah. Who are interested in the market.
And those connections,
They matter.
they really do.
They can have a huge impact on our psychology.
Having a supportive community
Yeah.
can be a powerful antidote to the isolation,
The fear.
the fear.
That often fuels greed.
It's like having a team of cheerleaders,
Oh, I like it.
but also a team of coaches
Yeah. To keep you on track.
to hold you accountable.
Exactly.
So how can traders build this kind of community?
Well, there are a few ways you can join online forums.
Okay.
Communities dedicated to Forex.
Yeah, there are tons of them out there.
Yeah. Places to share ideas,
Just questions.
learn from others.
Be careful.
Yeah.
What's the catch?
Some of those communities,
Yeah.
they can be breeding grounds for hype.
Get rich quick schemes
Unrealistic expectations.
is the holy grail.
Yeah. Which can actually make the greed worse.
So you got to find communities that emphasize
Education,
risk management.
a long-term perspective.
Yeah, not just chasing quick profits.
What else can you do? Find a mentor.
A mentor.
Someone who's been there, done that.
Who's walked the path.
Yeah, who can offer guidance
It's like having a personal guide
through the jungle of the market.
through the jungle. Yeah,
A
exactly.
good mentor
Yeah.
can share technical insights,
Yeah,
but also help you develop the mental and emotional resilience you need to succeed.
that's crucial.
It is.
And having that objective voice
Yeah, someone to keep you honest.
can help keep the greed in check.
Absolutely.
And finally,
Okay.
don't forget your personal support network.
Oh, yeah, that's a big one.
Your friends, your family,
Your partner,
the people who love you unconditionally,
yeah, who want to see you thrive.
both in trading and in life.
Exactly.
Those relationships
They provide a foundation.
of support.
Yeah, a reminder that your worth isn't tied to your trading account balance.
That's so important.
It is.
It's easy to get caught up in the numbers
The wins and losses.
and forget about what really matters.
Yeah, the bigger picture.
So having those strong personal connections.
It helps you stay grounded,
Yeah.
connected to what's truly important.
And that's a great segue into the final part of our deep dive.
Ooh, here we go.
We've talked about the dark side of greed,
Yeah, we've explored that pretty thoroughly.
but is there a way to reframe it?
To see it in a different light.
To see it as a potential source of energy?
Or motivation.
I
Interesting.
like where this is going.
We'll explore that fascinating question in the final part of our discussion.
I can't wait.
Stay tuned. Okay, so we're back for the final part of our deep dive into greed and Forex trading. And I got to say, this conversation has been pretty intense.
It has.
We started by talking about how greed can be a silent killer,
Yeah.
sabotaging our trading decisions.
Leading to some pretty big losses. Big losses, yeah.
Yeah,
We even touched on how the structure of the market itself,
right.
the competition, the lure of, easy money.
Get rich quick.
Yeah, that can all feed into this greed
That
monster.
creates the perfect environment for it.
Right. And then we talked about how large institutions,
The big players
yeah, they might be playing a role in this too.
exploiting the emotional reactions of smaller traders.
Yeah, it got pretty dark there for a minute.
It did.
But I'm glad we shifted the focus to some more empowering strategies,
Yeah, I think that's important.
like mindfulness,
Having a plan,
sticking to the plan,
finding a supportive community
all tools that can help us, navigate this market.
with more awareness, more resilience.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So before we wrap up, I want to circle back to that cliffhanger I left you with.
Okay.
We've been talking about greed as this negative force.
Right, the villain of the story.
But is there a way to reframe it? Can greed in some form actually be a positive force in trading?
You know, it might sound counterintuitive,
It does.
but I actually think there is.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
So the key here is to understand the energy behind greed.
The energy.
Yeah, like at its core, greed is this desire for more.
Okay.
It's a drive to achieve, to acquire,
to win.
to win. Exactly.
And that drive
Yeah.
can be powerful.
Incredibly powerful if you use it the right way.
So instead of letting greed, push us towards those reckless trading decisions,
Right.
we can channel that energy.
Redirect it
Yeah, towards goals that are actually aligned with,
with our values.
long-term vision.
Yeah, exactly.
So we're not obsessed with quick profits,
Right.
chasing every little opportunity,
We become obsessed with mastering the craft of trading.
with the process.
Yeah, the process.
Okay, so it's about finding satisfaction,
Yeah.
not just in, the destination, the profits,
The end result.
but in the journey itself,
The learning, the growth.
the small wins along the way.
Exactly.
And this ties into mindfulness, right?
It does.
When we're mindful, we're more present.
We're more focused on the process,
Yeah, not just fixated on the outcome.
which can be so liberating.
Yeah, it frees us from that constant cycle of chasing wins and fearing losses.
Right. It allows us to approach trading with a sense of curiosity,
Exploration.
continuous learning.
And that's where the real magic happens.
That's where the breakthroughs happen.
Yeah, when we're not driven solely by greed
We can open ourselves up to a whole new way of experiencing the market,
to see the bigger picture.
the interconnectedness of it all.
It's beautiful, isn't it?
It is. It really is.
So I think we've come full circle here.
Yeah, we have.
We started by exploring the dark side of greed.
And we've ended up in a place of
Understanding pattern.
possibility.
I like it.
So to our listeners, remember,
Yeah.
trading is not just about mastering the charts and indicators.
It's about mastering your mind, your emotions.
Your relationship with risk and reward.
Exactly.
And it's
It is.
a journey of self-discovery.
Embrace the challenges.
Celebrate the successes.
And never stop exploring this fascinating world of Forex trading.
Well said.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive, everyone.
It's been a pleasure.
Until next time, happy trading.